Hello, welcome back to the Silver Gauntlets. I'm Elagatua, and I am here with TheQueenHelena, and we have an exciting race for you today. It's a game 3 between kariossa and Oximan, and we'll be live very shortly with the start of the race. But I want to say hello to Queen Helena and welcome to the commentary booth.
Hi.
So it looks like we're seeing some of the starting items. Serenade is back from its vacation, so let's say hi to Serenade. That's going to be our starting song today. It looks like we've got Fire Medallion as well. The countdown has begun, so the race should be beginning momentarily.
Elgato, you're going a bit robot-y.
All right. I'm hearing that I might be a robot, so I apologize if that's the case, but maybe chat can tell me if I've revealed my true colors or not. But in the meantime, kariossa going early child, that's a very interesting opener. Okay, I saw 5 and 14 and Forest Temple on Path of Wisdom. Okay, 6, 5, 14. So got a nice kind of beefy seed for this one. Not a jet seed by any stretch of the imagination. 14 it's a little deep, but it's not crazy deep. Definitely obtainable for runners of this caliber. But depending on the hints that we get and the layout of the items and dungeons, the time limit could be a factor for the 14. We'll kind of wait and see. So it looks like kariossa going to be doing an early Kokiri Forest check, and then into Mido's house, and probably just the old school SFM into Lon into long adult play. Interesting meta. This is not something we've seen in Blitz a whole lot. Normally people just go straight to CAC, but we'll probably end up with a lot of hint information and maybe some early progression as the divergence goes at max for the next 2 to 3 minutes. And a fiche. And another big chest. Ooh, and Vanilla Nocturne. That is very suspicious, as well as a scale. So, starting to get some ideas about where this seed could be leading us already. With Fire Medallion's start, the Nocturne song is only locked behind 2 dungeons, and one of those dungeons is Jabu. So, something that we will want to be thinking about is, will a Path Boomerang show up? And if so, that's probably going to end up being pointing to Shadow Temple. Also, with that Vanilla Nocturne, those 6 and 5 pieces are almost certainly not in Shadow. So that's good to narrow it down. There's a decent chance that the 14 could involve Shadow, but we don't know for sure. Bolero in Kakariko. So that's a really good song to get early because that's going to lead to another song. Unfortunately, the routing is going to be a little weird. If I were in Oxyman's position, I would really want to consider doing River with that scale. It routes really nicely into Forest. So the problem becomes, when do you play Bolero? If you play Bolero after CAC, then it makes it difficult to route in River. But if you do River first before Bolero and you go all the way to Forest Temple to get the song, and then Minuet ends up being on Bolero, then you've wasted a lot of time to inefficient routing. So it's no real right way to play it, but it'll be interesting to see what Oximan chooses to do. As for Kariossa, looks like this is going to show us what our SFM song is. And it is ZL, so and River on power. So if Oxyman does decide to go down to River, we might be seeing some early progression in the River. So Chad is saying that we had a bow on Ocarina game, and if we did, then I'm sorry I missed it. There's so much going on when the runners are taking like the two most dense routes in opposite directions early. That's a good pickup for Kariossa, but we don't know very much about the seed yet, and what dungeons could be in that 5 to 6 range until we see a little bit more of the song layout. All right, it's decision time for Oxyman. And Oxyman is heading back towards CAC, so this probably means this is going to be River. While they're on their way to their next destination, I want to shout the race last night. Obviously, will not spoil anything, but it was probably one of the best Blitz races that I've seen in the tournament so far. Very, very exciting. So if you are interested in that, definitely check that out. That was between Fabio and Saria's Object. But Kariossa getting a free shield. Really awesome to see that. Don't have to buy one. Really good for routing. That's my favorite thing to find, if I can actually get a shield before I buy one. And Oxyman in River didn't buy a shield, interestingly enough, so if he has to do any of those jumps to any of the heart pieces, it's going to be interesting to see if he knows the setups. Looks like that's just a heart container up there, so the other checks in River are easy to do without a shield, so guess that won't be a factor after all, but oftentimes when I have the rupees, going back through CAC to River, I'll stop by the shop and pick up a shield before going River.
Should be good now. I don't know if you can hear me, but
yes, I can hear you now. Welcome.
I was just having some technical difficulties with my computer, so now I'm just kind of on mobile.
Well, that's the best backup plan, and not to change the subject too quickly, but I think we've got a new hint there. That was GTG on Courage, if I saw it correctly.
Forest on Wisdom. Courage is a lot of steps, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, we were speculating about maybe Nocturne Vanilla being a thing, as that's locked behind at least Jabu, and I don't know if we know what the water medallion is. And there's a hook shot.
Ooh, that's a hook shot. Yeah, he's going for that trick to get it. Can't say I don't blame him.
It routes so nicely with the scale now, because likely this is going to end up in Forest Temple pretty soon. And now Oxyman is going to have the opportunity to dip in there if he wants.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Oxyman plays this out.
Yeah, the world is kind of Oxyman's oyster at the moment. Lots of really good options. Obviously, he's going to have a free song waiting for him at Bolero whenever he wants to pick it up. And Kariossa going with an early CAC play, picking up a strength one. That's a really big pickup potentially.
Yeah, Vital Health, of course, not providing.
And this is going to be an early graveyard play as well to get an extra song. So I don't recall what the song was in Lon Lon, but hopefully chat can help us out.
Judging by what we see here, it's Lullaby.
So Lullaby was an SFM, but there's another one in Lon Lon that hasn't been marked yet, and I just don't know what it was.
So we're getting Mido Skip too.
Yeah, we're getting a ton of early info here. We're going to have a lot of these songs locked down in the first 15 minutes, and to know a lot more about where things could possibly be. So it looks like Lon Lon was vanilla. So Epona's song in Lon Lon. And
okay.
Forest Temple is also Path, by the way. So that's even more incentive for Oximan to take a peek in there with that hookshot.
Yeah, never know what you might find there.
And it's also on the path to Wisdom, which is our shortest path. So with the 14, you never know when the time limit could end up being a factor. So getting those first two pieces could be really critical. We saw the time limits take important being relevant in, oh my god.
Oh!
Speaking of kariossa.
That is a magic required parent. At least logically.
Yeah, that could be a really big pickup. First of all, now Karios's adult is going to be really, really good. It's just set up so nicely because we have not found any other explosives. Oh my gosh, and OoT is Requiem.
Kind of gross.
Yeah, so that there's a lot of potential for silliness in terms of that. But as I was saying about kariossa, now kariossa going to be going into Adult 1 with that hammer is going to be able to be even more efficient with the overworld checks, and will be end up picking up Bolero and things like that, and may have the opportunity to go into Fire Temple potentially, or just a lot of other options.
I mean, peek Dodongo's Cavern a little bit, because, you know, you can't do the eyes without explosives.
But yeah, this very thorough Child 1 play has worked out really, really well for kariossa, and it's often that you will not see a runner do the Composer Grave as Child, especially when you get like ZL in Child 1. Like oftentimes you'll just opt to do Composer Grave when you visit CAC as adult. So that routing, I mean, I think it potentially could be very difficult for Oxyman to track that hammer down if it becomes necessary. And another big hint showing up there, that's Forest on Courage. So that means Forest is double.
That is interesting. So that means whatever item we potentially find from Forest will potentially help us get Courage.
Yeah, and now we've got a bunch of songs, but noticeably we are missing Forest access. So we still don't know where, or we don't know what the Bolero song is. So that could be giving us our logical way into Forest Temple, but it's possible that if the Forest access is trolly, like maybe behind Jabu, and then also in Ice Cavern, that we could even be in the range of a early out of logic Triforce piece.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like maybe Minuet was in the Composer's Grave. So we get the trackers updated here, but fortunately our handy sheet is, I'm going to start referring to that because they're on it. But Yeah, so we do have a forced access then through ZL, and ZL was Sphere 0, so forced access, a maximum of 2 deep, and we won't be seeing any pieces here. And actually, with the strength 1 and the bow all being in Sphere 0, there's definitely, I guess theoretically, if all of those were path, then wisdom could maybe be somewhere deep in Forest Temple, but almost certainly not.
Yeah, considering strength was also a Sphere 0, I highly doubt a piece would be deep in forest. Fire Temple looks likely too.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Kariossa early. Kariossa has the river hint, I believe, and so I imagine that after this CAC play, river will be the next thing, and with the hook shot that is in river, Kariossa has all the ingredients to do all of... Oh, he's just going river right now. Kariossa has the ingredients to do all of Forest Temple and pick up both of those path items.
That is also true. I mean, depending where those path items are in forest.
Yeah, he might be there a while.
Because, could potentially be on Phantom Ganon and, on Basement.
Yeah, will be
never
interesting
know.
to see if Oximan runs into any potential path items in this dip.
It seems like Oximan hasn't found really anything in forest so far.
Yeah, that might be good for Oxyman, even though it seems a little bit paradoxical, because he knows that there has to be something here, and so if he doesn't find it, he's going to know that he needs to come back. And what we know is that there's actually 2 things here that he needs to find. Is this... He's leaving.
He's just
not
leaving.
even going to do...
Oh, I think he changed his mind. I think he's gonna dip basement. And if basement is not a big chest, then he might dip out of forest. Potentially.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to do the basement. Just killing Phantom Ganon opens up Ganon's castle. And Kariossa going to get that hook shot, and I guess the question for Kariossa is, where to now? Do you go straight to Forest Temple, or do you try to go back to CAC and just kind of clean up the rest of those songs?
So it looks like... I was gonna say, it looks like whatever we need is deep forest, potentially.
It's certainly looking that way based on the lack of items there that we've seen.
It was pretty nice picking up Song of Time before going to forest. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, that allowed Oxyman to get into the courtyard to get an additional set of checks. Didn't find anything, but at least gave him more chances to find those path items. But Kariossa going to be entering Forest Temple now, and I imagine that this is going to be a longer stay. Hopefully Kariossa remembers that he's got a shield. I pulled
very clean Phantom Ganon. Very clean.
Yeah, it's not free, especially when you don't have a shield. That can be easy to mess up.
It's easy to mess up even when you don't have a shield. Looks like it's deep forest.
Yeah, so Kariossa probably going to give us that first look at the path items here. I imagine that Oxyman's going to end up in Child before too long, and we're kind of hot on the trail already. Lots of early progression, getting us into the dungeons quickly. We're only 20 minutes in, and we're going to be seeing probably a full forest temple from Kariossa.
Inside Ganon's castle is Path to Courage.
So now Oxyman has the option to dip into Ganon's on the way to Child. It'd be interesting to see if he chooses that or just elects to go straight to Child to pick up the songs there.
I mean, I don't see the harm of dipping into castle, and you got the graveyard hint too.
That could be for Minuet.
I mean, that is also true. Could also be for Hammer, because we found Hammer in graveyard too.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Sun Song on Bolero, that's pretty nice. Oh, is he just dipping into fire real quick?
This looks like a dip. We'll
I mean,
see.
he's here, so you know why not? Like, go look at that first chest, see what items in it.
Yeah, just to know that it's hammerlocked or not could be interesting. Looks like it's not hammerlocked. Not yet.
Not yet, but he still doesn't have any explosives either.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get very deep here, but probably going to check the open chest in the next room as well, and then what? That is the question.
And is a key.
Yep, so nothing doing for now, but looks like this is going to be a serenade, probably to a save quit to Prelude, and Ganons or no Ganons? That's what we want to know. Or maybe this is a hint check?
Probably could serve as both.
I kind of like this, especially if he save quits after this one check.
That's a hint that we already know.
Yeah, we already knew it, but I don't know if Oxyman knew it. That was the second Forest Temple path hint, so now Oxyman knows that it's double forest.
Spirit Temple is also path.
That's interesting for a lot of reasons. Most notably because Spirit Temple locks Requiem. So that introduces the possibility of a bait path lens. In fact, I think it guarantees it.
Yeah, because you would need lens to cross the wasteland or to get to Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's some potential excitement showing up. Will it be Cola's suggestion, the lens in Shadow Temple? Already a little bit of uncertainty creeping its way into the seed. Could also just easily see it in Deep Forest.
Hey, Deep Forest is always an option.
So it looks like this is going to be Ganon's for Oxyman and Kariossa going back to Forest Temple. No surprise there. Kariossa knows it's double path and nothing's shown up, so time to get whatever's there. But Oxyman into Ganon's. We know Ganon's path. We don't know if the path item there will actually be accessible or not, but we're going to get our first look at it.
It never hurts to just dip into it and see.
Yeah, a lot of really fast checks in Ganon's.
Hopefully it's not behind Strength 3.
We'll know more in about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That's a promising start, potentially. Choose. Choose are nice.
That's actually very helpful for Oxyman. With no hammer, that is actually his first explosives. I think it was only a 5, though.
Ugh. That's kind of a feels bad. No big
Definitely.
chest and water.
Yeah, Cola mentioning that Kariossa has put off adult cack and graveyard for a really long time. I don't actually think it's that crazy, given the way that the seed is played out. Just because Kariossa got a lot of information and also got the items to basically chase after Forest Temple, which we know is double path. So there's really very little risk in going to Forest Temple first, and Cac's always just going to be there waiting, especially after going. You can use Minuet to just go through the Goron City shortcut and end up in Cac pretty easily whenever he wants to. Those bomb shoes are going to give Oxyman an extra check in this room. Now he has the ability to get that second switch.
And of course he's gonna scum his choose, because always scum choose. Especially when you have like a 5-pack.
Absolutely. It's a good idea. Looks like he missed the first shot there, but if this is nothing, then he's going to get the choose back anyway, so probably not a big deal.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, well, that's worth it. That's worth losing the 2 choose. That's explosives.
That could very well be... No, that can't be path. That's a bomb-locked bomb bag, right?
Not technically. I don't think so. I don't know. Somebody who knows more about logic, tell us if that's
I'm pretty sure that
or not.
the logic for that room is that you're supposed to use the bomb bag to buy bomb choose to be able to do that. So I think that is a second bomb bag, so not path.
Well, could still be in tower climb.
And we've got a first big chest on Kariossa's side in Forest Temple.
And that's magic.
Also potential bait just for crossing.
I mean, that is also potentially true. I mean, that magic is definitely, if the hammer is what's the path for. That's definitely required.
The big
That's a
chest
big chest.
in the climb here. So let's see if Oxyman can get through these Staphos clean.
Yeah, this is hard without a hammer and you're low on. Very clean. That could have gone so much worse. Okay, that's our first bomb bag. Because that's not bomb locked or anything.
Yeah, I think that's the path. It was path bomb bag. I called it too
It
early.
was. Who would have thought that frickin' cannons would give us 2 bomb bags?
It's a very trolly bomb locked bomb bag. I wonder if Oxyman is familiar with the logic for that room. Maybe Oxyman thinks that there could be something else in Ganon's later on. I guess it's a little bit of a moot point, though. I'm not able to do any more checks there. But with that bomb bag, this is probably an upper DMC play to try and get some more hints. This is a very hint-dense area.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get suspicious that this hammer is maybe not a thing. Because if that is the logical bomb bag, then we need some way to get into Ganon's castle logically, which is likely Forest Temple. And if that's the case, then there's a good chance that Minuet is the path in Graveyard. So, again, there's a lot we don't know, but Karos about to get a second big chest here in Forest. Let's see.
Oh.
Ooh.
Could that be for potential ice cavern play?
Yeah, interestingly enough, that makes it even more likely that it's going to be Minuet Path, because I think Saria's is. I don't know if it's hard confirmed to be in ice, but it seems really likely that it could be ice. And if Letter locks Saria's, then that means that Minuet is definitely Path. No storms yet either. Oh, and I was about to mention Jabu, because Jabu is our forest medallion. So if there is something like storms on Prelude or something like that, then Jabu could be a thing. Or if Shadow's required, and another big chest. Oh no. Well, analyze that, commentators.
Yeah, because that's. Oh, ice cavern hint. It was path to something. I didn't see which path it was.
That was power.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is going to be storms in ice. Because that's path to power. So ice is already pretty deep. If we're doing counting, we're looking at, let's see, so ZL, Minuet, Hookshot, that's 3 already. And then Rudo's Letter for 4, and whatever is in Ice Cavern, which could be Storms for 5. So looking at Storms as a potential 5th, maybe 2 pieces in Bottom of the Well, or something along those lines. Could be like
Well,
a
you're
5.
also. I was gonna say you're also forgetting the scale to get into River S Child to get the hook shot. I think that's logical, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a good point. So if that scale ends up being path, then maybe the bomb bag is not actually necessary for anything, or it's not necessary for storms, and so maybe you could have two pieces at the bottom of the well. The one would be a 5, and a bomb locked one could be a 6.
Yeah, but until we know that scale's path, let's just assume bombs in order to get to River as Child. To get the hook shot.
Yeah, the only quirk that we have right now, though, is that...
Oh yeah, what dungeon would have you needed to beat in order to get into that?
Yeah, you got to get into Ganon somehow, and right now the only path that we have available is through Minuet. We also have a Lost Woods path, and the only thing I think we found in Lost Woods was a bow. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's one of the most useful items of them all, light arrows. That's obviously the path item. Right, guys? Right?
Well, we just have a lot of questions because we have 3 items that could potentially be path in Forest Temple with the magic, fire arrows, and we know Rudo's is path, so at least that one's easy. But right now, one of magic or fire arrows is path, and we don't really know which.
I mean, also depends where our last magic is.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to figure it out for a while, but I am really interested in that Lost Woods hint. That's an interesting one.
Because if magic is magic locked, then magic would be path. But if our second magic isn't magic locked, then I don't think it is the path item there. If I'm not wrong.
No, I think you might be right. It's a little bit hard to analyze because there's a lot of like possibilities based on the location of items that we haven't found yet.
Yeah.
But speaking about strategy for our runners now, it looks like Kariossa is going to be doing the DMC play following Oxyman's lead. And again, this is a very sensible play. That's a very hint-dense area. Oxyman finding a lot of big chests in Dongo's Cavern. And there's a bow.
Oh, there's a bow. Well, that's not a bomb. That's not a bow locked bow, so therefore bow cannot be path.
That is absolutely correct. So that means something else has to be in Lost Woods. I thought we saw all of the checks in Lost Woods other than Target in Woods and Saria's, or Skull Kid rather. So,
it could still be on those 2 checks.
Yeah, and who knows when we're going to get
either one of those items. Very interesting, though. But Oxyman must be feeling pretty happy finding that bow in DC. But you still need strength in order to go deeper in Forest, though.
Yeah, I kind of hope Oxyman ends up going Child. He's missing a lot of songs that will help him route, and he's going to need ZL almost certainly at some point. So it feels like after 40 minutes in Adult, it's about time.
Oh, boo! Boo! He's buying a shield. But no, that's definitely the right play, though. You're right there. You have the money. You should buy it.
If I might be a little bit critical, I think it's actually the wrong play at this point. The right play would have been buying the shield before going to River, because Oxyman had the Adult 1 that just turned into a 40-minute Adult 1, and it was all without a shield, and could have very easily had that shield very early. But a big chest here, and a strength, unbelievable.
Strength? There was a strength in the redid grotto too? Huh. That means Kak had access to strength 2. Huh.
Yeah, and so that's also another non-strength locked strength. So all those items in Forest Temple now just locked by Minuet and the hookshot.
Yeah.
We kind of suspected that that had to be the case, just based on the path counts and the hints that we're seeing. But it's good to get
Yeah.
confirmation. For Oximan, though, this might bait him back into Forest a little bit early. We know that if he goes Child, it's going to route a little bit nicer because he's going to end up with Minuet. But I just have a feeling that he's going to wind up right back in Forest. And a big chest here in Fire Temple. This could potentially be a piece. Oh, it's
Oh, it's the
long shot.
long shot. That's interesting.
Boy, that
Go
adds
check the
just another layer
songs.
of questions.
Because that's also not a hook shot. Is it technically hook?
Right now, it is
No, no,
because
logically no, because we started with Bolero. So it's not a hook shot, locked hook shot.
technically it is a hookshot locked hookshot, at least based on what we know, because the fire arrows were in Forest Temple, and right now the hammer is logically
Oh,
fire locked.
yeah, right. That's true. We found both magic and fire in the temple. Forest temple, right. You're right. I forgot that you kind of did the stick, flame storage to get hammer early, so yeah, that is true. I forgot all about that.
But the question is that even an item that we need? Because Fire Temple has not been hinted path, and we have Eponas already, so it's not like we couldn't get across the bridge. Maybe it could be path for access to Spirit Temple, because we do know that we're going to have to cross the desert to get there when that becomes a thing. But that's not going to be happening until we find that second strength upgrade, as they both have a different one. Looks like we're going to see
Yeah,
some more Lost Woods checks here.
just verification of what's in here. I think this wasn't anything important. Yeah, those were the
Yeah.
light arrows.
Kariossa having some execution issues in Fire Temple might be actually a helpful failure, as he's going to bail out now and head uh, to Serenade. And what does this mean? Is this like shoot the sun? It's not time of day for this.
Song.
Hey, he's got to enable cheat codes.
I wonder what Oximan is planning right now. I didn't see the item for the reset. So I guess must have not been anything.
So it looks like Oxyman going to be heading back to Forest. Um, we know that's not. I mean, it might help a little bit, but the question is, when Ice Cavern? Oxyman still needs ZL though, so I think it's up to Kariossa really to decide when to go there. And Kariossa has Rudos, but probably still needs the Boomerang, which is chilling on top of DC. So these runners have what the other needs, but they don't have everything individually yet.
Looks like Kariossa's gonna pick up the first bomb bag here since I don't think he has choose. Or that's right, we found 5 choose here, so he'll be able to do it. I'm good.
So it looks like we're going to get a peek here at Shadow Trial 2. This is a new check in Ganon's castle that we haven't seen yet. Kariossa with those fire arrows from Forest Temple. This is maybe even a potential Triforce piece location, because it's pretty deep.
That is also true. I kind of forgot about that.
Nope.
And nope.
That was a good thought.
Strength 3 still exists.
Yeah, not to rain on anybody's parade, but I really am skeptical of Strength 3 being a thing this seed. Just because if Strength 3 was a thing, we ought to see CAC showing up Path, as we've seen 2 Strength upgrades in CAC, but we don't have any. So, I mean, it's not impossible, but it just seems unlikely.
So we probably won't get any rock being yeeted. No yeet rock.
I cannot believe we're only 45 minutes into this run. It seems like we've gotten to so many places already.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, looks like he's decided not to use his choose.
Yeah, Kariossa about to get a bomb bag, and suddenly his, I guess his caution with the using explosives goes right out the window. No need to conserve now.
I mean, especially if he decides to go deeper in Ganon and gets the second bomb bag from the Stalfos.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. We'll probably clarify the logic a little bit for him, but not going to be helpful.
I just find it so funny that 2 of the bomb bags were in here. Like, never tell me the odds.
Yeah, I do think that it is Bomb's path in Ganon's, especially having seen one hard confirmed bomb-locked bomb bag. Seems pretty likely that the other one would just be bomb-locked as well. And also, I guess Hammer is technically not bomb-locked, though, as we have ZL and bow and fire arrows and magic, and we didn't need bombs to get to any of that. It's like Kariossa going to be heading back to SFM.
So then I guess that confirms scale, then, right? For the long shot in order to, for the hook shot in order to get into Forest.
Yeah, seems likely. Ooh, Kariossa taking a death there. That's not something you see too often. Not really a big deal.
And we still haven't seen where the third bomb bag is yet. Like, it still could be in a possible non-bomb locked location. So I guess until we get bomb percent, we won't really know if it's bomb or scale for the hook shot.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot we don't know. But what Kariossa does know is that he's never been to adult CAC yet, surprisingly, after 50 minutes in this seed. But the good news for Kariossa is that heading in that general direction and probably going down from Goron City is going to have him run into that boomerang, which could be very relevant, as well as a strength upgrade in Bomble Grotto in CAC, and that could unlock some pathways deeper into the seed, as that would allow Kariossa to head towards the Path Spirit Temple, as well as maybe pick up that Forest Medallion that's on Jabu.
I mean, we will definitely see.
Chat correctly speculating, when is the right time to rush ice? And unfortunately for Kariossa, he has no bottle. But fortunately for Kariossa, as soon as he finishes Dodongo's Cavern, he's going to have one, as we know that Man on Roof has a bottle. So if you're wondering why Kariossa didn't just hoof it to Ice Cavern, that was the reason why. And I guess that's just one downside of putting off Cactus Seed is you don't run into that bottle. But it's not like he could have known it was there.
I mean, also, you know, probably doesn't want to feel like going to Child to deliver the letter in order to free up the bottle.
Yeah, and he won't have to. Probably we'll be doing DC into Daycac, and then we'll get that bottle, and we'll have the option to go right to Ice Cavern. Although delivering the bottle is better in this seed than pretty much any other situation. You have Scale, and you have Serenade, so you can just swim right through Hylia and do it pretty quick. But won't be seeing that unless Kariossa decides that Jabu is the play. So we're just finishing up some clears of some areas that we've seen on the other side. Oximan picking up Ruto's letter now, so that being confirmed path might send Oximan in the direction of Ice Cavern. Once he finds a way in, keep in mind Oximan still is not gone child and does not have ZL, so technically cannot get into Domain as adult. And I think it's probably time for him to go child, but we'll see if he agrees. He's defied my predictions so far.
Hey, that's the one thing about being commentator. You never know what the racers are thinking.
It is interesting to see everybody's different strategies. You definitely have a lot of freedom in Triforce Blitz to really chase aggressively after the locations that you think are valuable, even if you want to skip maybe more traditional locations or not be as thorough as you might need to play in other rule sets. This is a Serenade, so maybe this is actually going to be a save quit to Temple of Time. Yeah, looks like it.
Yep. He finally did it.
So another bow there, and that's actually good information for Kariossa. Kariossa now knows that that Lost Woods is not path for the bow, and until this point, you couldn't be sure. But it will be interesting to see where Saria Song ends up or where a Slingshot ends up, as those items could be important when normally they're not. Oxyman, straight to Jabu. This is a little spicy, honestly. I like this. We are going to probably see this Forest Medallion song sooner rather than later. So there's the first open bottle for Kariossa. I'm sure that Kariossa will probably finish the rest of the checks in Adult CAC, especially after his experience in Game 2, where missing a certain check in CAC ended up to be pretty important. But might be ice afterwards. We'll have to see. Ooh, and that is a Fire Temple path. Surely that is for the long shot. That is a very important key of a piece of information there. That probably means that long shot is required to get across the desert. I wonder where our lens is. Yeah, chat saying lens in Lost Woods. That's actually a real possibility. I think he might be onto something there. Could be long shot for key logic and spirit, but keep in mind in this seed we have spirit that is on the path, and based on the medallion layout, we also we know that Spirit Temple hard locks Requiem. So the only way we're going to ever get to Spirit Temple this seed is by crossing. So we know that there must be a path lens somewhere. We just don't know where it is.
Okay, hopefully everything better on my computer now. And it seems like it. So, cool. Needed a good restart. Alright, I didn't miss too much. I just did, apparently.
Welcome back. We got a lot of action going on now as Kariossa is picking up Strength 2. And Kariossa is just a lot of options right now. Could opt to try and cross for Spirit. Could go to Ice. It's all available.
Yep, there's quite a bit of stuff that can be done here.
Keep in mind, GTG is actually a path as well, and that has not been checked. So that is another place where Lens could potentially be hiding out.
I mean, that's also true. Is this could be our Rush Ice play?
Yes, absolutely. This is a Rush Ice play. It's path. This is the right play for sure.
Yeah. Also, have we gotten a hint that Jabu is foolish or not?
I don't believe we have seen one, which is in itself suspicious that we haven't.
As I was gonna say, if it, I mean, they could explain why Oximan is also just going through the checks here.
Well, he knows that Rudo's his path, so it's not a bad idea. And also Forest Medallion. could potentially be relevant. So don't hate it by any means.
No, not at all. Shabam's just trolling. And we're get to see King Moip skip.
So nothing in deeper Jabu here. Looks like we're going to be heading right to Baronade using that shortcut. If there's nothing on Baronade, though, then Jabu is guaranteed to be hinted foolish, as any dungeon that is foolish will be hinted foolish as long as there's enough spots.
That is fair.
And while Kariossa doing a nice weep skip there, I'd like to shamelessly self-promote that I've got a new video out for a easy mode version of weep skip. So if you have trouble with that trick, you should check out my YouTube, and you can learn an easy way to do it if you're not as good as Kariossa, which is basically all of us.
That's the thing with, some of these runners, they just make some of these tricks look incredibly easy when in actuality, kind of not really, but like if you learn them, they become not as bad, just, muscle memory.
Yeah, I mean, Baronade is the classic boss that's really, really hard unless you're good, and Oximan really, really clean, so check that off your bingo card. The clean Baronade looks like it's coming up.
Yep. And we're going to get to see in Ice Cavern, is it a song or is it an item in here?
Or is it a piece? Definitely a lot
Or
of...
is it a piece? I mean, it's definitely within the amount of numbers for it to be a piece, so place your bets now.
Nothing on Baronade, so the Jabu Foolish hint's going to be out there somewhere. But the real question is, what about the medallion?
Oh yeah, the song that we get from the medallion. That is also true.
Yeah, so definitely not guaranteed to be a waste for Oximan necessarily. Spent a little bit of time going into deeper Jabu for those checks that ended up not working out, but...
Can't be Saria because we need letter in order to actually.
No, we have Minuet, so it could be Saria's. If it was Saria's, then it could potentially be Saria's for Lost Woods for maybe. Well, I don't know what it would be for in Lost Woods, but hopefully our runners will show us.
Yeah.
I do think that Kariossa is going to end up with storms here at the end of Ice Cavern, then that's going to start to lead us to our first pieces of this run.
I mean, that has some decent potential. God, I can't speak.
No worries, I'm there on a daily basis. Let's see if there's a big chest here in this room. If not, then I'm probably looking at the song, which is what we expected, and yes, confirmed to be a small chest, so likely just storms in Ice Cavern. Still could be Saria's, potentially. That would be surprising, but not impossible.
And we'll get to see if this is a big chest in Domain. Which it's not.
Yeah, I don't love the domain play, honestly. I think with ice known to be path, it's good to be a little bit more aggressive here on the overworld checks. And the time limit is going to become a factor pretty soon. I mean, it seems crazy, but there's only 55 minutes left in this seed, and we still have yet to find any pieces. We know that Spirit and GTG and Ice Cavern, if you're Oximan, those could potentially be on the table. And so, what is his strategy to win? Is he just going to ignore the courage piece entirely and go for the first two? Or is he going to try and go for the home run and risk that time limit, leaving him with nothing to show for it?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen Kikuri's sword chest, have we?
I think that was Kariossa's first check of the game, actually.
I was busy trying to get my Discord settled, so I might have not seen it.
We'll let you off the hook this time. But Kariossa, small chest in
It
Ice.
is Storms!
Yeah, it is Storms, as we thought.
So this could be... I would see Kariossa rushing Shadow. You know, this seems like a warp to Lake save reset. Go to... Well, yep, that seems like exactly what Kariossa is doing.
Yep, makes perfect sense. You have hard confirmed Storms path. That was the only thing in Ice Cavern, so we know it's required. And Ice is deep enough that it's likely to lead directly to at least one piece, and I think it's possible that it could lead to two.
Like, it could be either Wisdom or Power, or both, potentially.
We're pretty sure that we have a path bomb bag, and it could be the case. I think I mentioned this way back when, maybe like 40 minutes ago,
Yeah.
where we could have Wisdom being in bottom of the well and then Power being bomb locked in bottom of the well. And that would be a nice explanation for a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, that would make sense, yep. Oh, and there's the Foolish.
Yeah, that's a feels bad. Oh,
And there's
that's
the lens. That's our Lost Woods path.
There you go. Okay, well, rip Saria's song, rip Slingshot. It's the bait was in the Lost Woods, and that actually means that GTG is going to have a thing. So maybe something like Dins or Irons. That is strength 3 on Bonchu Bowling.
It's interesting that Strength 3 is on Bomb2 Bowling. Can we see Yeet Rock?
We might, but I don't think there's any way that Strength 3 can be required.
No, but I just want to see it. That's all I want.
It's very difficult when you're running to get gold gauntlets and then not end up in light trial, because there's just so many checks there, and you think, oh, what if it was somehow useful? So this could actually bait Kariossa into wasting a little bit of time. But certainly he's going to end up in bottom of the well first. That's what he came here to do.
Yeah, he's not making a deviation. It's like, no, this is the most... I think well is actually more check-dense than light trial right now.
Well, especially based on the hints, right? It has to lead to something. We have Storm's path, so it's going to take us somewhere, and we don't have bottom of the well path. So that seems to suggest that this is the end of the chain, and if it's the end of the chain, then that means we're going to get some gold.
Yeah, but also another reason why it can't be light trial, even though as much as I want to see them be bait into light trial, we haven't gotten a hint for market, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So our 3 strengths, 1 was in the market and 2 were in Kakariko. And so,
2 of them being bomb locked.
yeah, if Light Trial was required, all 3 of those items would be path, and it seems very likely that there would be some hints pointing to that. But instead, we have 0 paths pointing towards strength, so it just makes it really, really unlikely that Light Trial is a thing.
Like I said, as much as I want it, it's not gonna happen.
Looks like Oximan probably headed back adult with ZL, and I imagine this could be Ice. Or no, maybe this is Lomlon. He's not been to Lomlon. This is kind of a crazy route by Oximan, spending about 50 minutes in adult. It's kind of the exact opposite of Kariossa, who spent about 20 minutes in child before going adult, and Oximan doing it in reverse and electing to pick up Eponas makes sense. And there's a big chest in the bottom of the well.
Yeah. This could be a piece. Frore's Wind, definitely not path item. Useful item, but not path.
Yeah, it's really nice, especially with GTG and Spirit Temple coming up, and knowing that we're not going to have Requiem. You can elect to do some checks in Spirit, and if you think you find the path item, you can drop FW there and then just feel free to leave. Lets you play more aggressively, and that could be important as the time limit looms large.
Yeah. That's the one thing I kind of like about this like format of like Zooter is this whole time limit aspect. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean, and it was so controversial at the beginning, but I think as people have kind of played with it, they've learned to love it. It's definitely very unique to Triforce Blitz, but it gives people the permission to really go where they think the items are and not have to worry about playing insanely safe, because if you don't play aggressive enough, you can just run out of time, and we really want this to be a test of kind of logical mastery and cut out all the unnecessary stuff. We're not playing 100% speedruns here. That's a whole different category. So go to where you think the thing is and get it done as quickly as possible.
I also feel like this format can also technically help, I wouldn't say like completely like new people into Zooter, but like help people who are maybe not too familiar with like how Zooter is, help them maybe learn stuff a little bit more faster. In this case, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot more to learn for the logic for individual items. And one of the big differences with these settings is in some of the standard modes. Actually, I'm going to pause. This is a big chest.
And that's
There's
a
our piece.
You didn't peek the bottom of well though. I mean, like the bottom part of the well.
I wasn't counting keys, but it could be required to be a key just based on counting.
Because I saw a key in the chest. He picked up a key. There was a key in the coffin. There was other items, so could potentially. If Kariossa thinks that's not important, it's probably not important.
Were there any bottom-locked keys?
Yes, the first key that he picked up, it was bomb locked.
Yeah, so let's assume that was power for now.
Yeah.
So Kariossa did not check all the places in well, and I think that ZL lock checks would be 5, and so that one would be a 6. So I wonder if this isn't a mistake. And if Oximan is able to end up in ice and then come back to well, this could be mistakes being made. Put your thumb on this moment. This could be important later on.
That's a gold scale.
And so that confirms that our scale was not path. We kind of suspected that because there wasn't a hint for a path scale, but now it's confirmed.
Well, that means that means our first bomb bag must not be bomb locked because we needed bombs to be able to go into river.
No, so with both of those scales, we now have river access for that hook without any items being path. So it actually more or less confirms the possibility of the bomb bag and Ganons being path and needing a minuet for hook shot to be able to unlock that bomb bag.
I see. I got you. I'm surprised Oximan didn't come back here as adult, seeing that he has, magic and fire arrows, but he's probably just gonna do flame storage. So, we'll see. It also looks like kariossa, now after doing Ice Cavern, is just gonna probably just go straight for, Jabu and just beat Baronet, because I think he might have gotten... No, because the hint that Jabu was foolish was right by that Deku scrub, and he doesn't have lens, so I think he's gonna try to clear Jabu out a bit. So... it's gonna be interesting. There's Oximan's hammer. Ah, so kariossa did get the hint that Jabu's foolish, I guess.
Yeah, this is just a play for the medallion. Kariossa looking at the layout and knowing that Jabu is that force medallion, wants the song, thinks it might be important. I don't think that that kariossa got the lens in Lost Woods, and so might think that what we were thinking earlier about Saria's song maybe being path for something in Lost Woods, and might be thinking about that. Could also be thinking about maybe Courage being in Shadow Temple and needing to do both Jabu and Water Temple to get Nocturne. Yeah, and I think Cola is right on the money. If there ends up being two pieces in bottom of the well, I think kariossa could be in some serious trouble here. Oximan is in market and
he's gonna do the treasure chest minigame.
Yeah, he's gonna do treasure chest minigame, but probably afterwards is gonna end up in adult. And once he's adult, the logical place would be to go to Ice Cavern. And after Ice Cavern, the logical place is to go to bottom of the well. And if we're right about two pieces being there, kariossa would need to find Courage before Oximan full clears bottom of the well. Now, obviously, we're making a lot of assumptions here, but as we get closer and closer to that time limit, be on the lookout, because this is probably what we're going to be talking about in 20 minutes. So, Serenade from kariossa. I imagine this is going back adult, probably to go to DTG and then cross over to Spirit Temple. But let's see if we have any lucky people in chat who are going to get a treasure chest minigame prediction.
Well, I'm already out, so I'm always team left, so...
Better luck next time, chat.
Oof, that feels bad.
Yeah, I think Oxyman did Treasure Chest game thinking, what if this lens is path for an item here? But we've known for a very long time now that lens has to be path for crossing, just based on the hints and the medallion layout. But that the allure of the Treasure Chest game is just too tempting. And curiously getting Saria's song like we expected. So, what is the play for Kariossa? Is this back to fire?
I mean, he's got hammer. He's got two. He's got two bottles, so you can get fairies. He's got good amount of bombs. I think that this is a Volvagia play.
I think Kariossa thinks that there's a Triforce piece in Deep Fire. I think that's what's going on here.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, fire was path, and the only item we found in here so far was the long shot. So,
yeah, and
possible at this point.
There's a good chance that long shot is path because hovers probably in spirit. So if I had to guess like where this is going, I'm looking at like maybe Dins and GTG with hovers in spirit, and then Iron Boots somewhere for a courage piece in Shadow.
Kariossa messing with my heart there for a second. Almost didn't go through the door in time.
Yeah, and Oxyman going to be chasing Path Fire Temple. Will be interesting to see what he decides to do after finding this long shot, which he's going to run into very quickly. And Kariossa does Kariossa have a fairy? Because this is not going to work.
Yeah, he has a fairy.
Okay, then it will work. I still think that the most likely place that that Wisdom is going to be is in bottom of the well. It's just based on the hints that we've seen in Forest Temple, especially. The most likely situation would be that Rudo's. We know that Forest is on the path of Wisdom, and the most likely thing to be in Forest on the path of Wisdom is Rudo's letter, leading to storms and ice. It could also be a funky chain for like magic, ultimately locking hammer. It's not impossible, but I don't know. This is just the experience talking, and it's not always right, but that's setting off my suspicions the most. Oxyman finding that long shot and playing Bolero. So this could be ice, and this is exactly where Oxyman needs to go. So Kariossa save quitting there after killing Volv. And what that means is that Kariossa is planning to go into Deep Fire. So this is the moment of truth, honestly. If Kariossa is right about Deep Fire having a piece, then Kariossa is going to have this seed on total lockdown. And there's probably no way back for Oximan. But if it's not here and it's in bottom of the well, right there along with power, then it's going to be the exact opposite situation, most likely. So this is a high-stakes couple of minutes coming up. This may be the key moments that decide our seed today.
Just thinking that we had GTG Path, right? And Spirit's also Path, if I'm not mistaken. Now, we know that Fire is Path, but I don't think with the 14 steps, even if we had some weird logic chain with the magic and the fire or hammer, that a piece could be in deep fire. I don't see it.
Well, it would have to be some sort of weird chain to get the hammer out of the graveyard. That's the only way that deep fire could be a thing. Oh, 1 second, Kariossa with the clutch timing there to make sure he doesn't eat it in the block room. Oxyman in heading towards ice, so time limit not going to be a factor for Oxyman to get to bottom of the well, which is good news for him. And yeah, we'll see if deep fire is that the answer.
I don't think it is, but we'll see.
There's some speculation in chat about the long shot. I'm just going to give you some spoilers here because I'm 95% sure of the answer. Long shot is almost certainly path to get over the wasteland, probably because hovers are locked in Spirit Temple or behind Spirit Temple. With Eponas being available and long shot, that's the most likely scenario. There's also a possibility that it could be path for Water Temple to get the medallion so that we can unlock Nocturne. But regardless, I'm pretty confident that Courage is going to end up in Shadow Temple. Nothing showing up in. Oh yeah, Shadow Path. We don't have it marked down on our sheet. If Shadow's Path, then yeah, it definitely could be like Kokiri Sword in Shadow, but maybe somebody can clarify that one for me. Looks like Kariossa is going to be doing a pixel shot here. So, Lincoln, you'll miss it. This is a pretty tough trick, but Kariossa up to the challenge for sure. And more shameless self-promotion if you need a setup for this trick that's a little bit easier than what Kariossa did. YouTube.com/Elagatua has got you covered.
Shameless plug, shameless plug.
Yep, try to make it easy for everybody. You don't need to be as good as Kariossa to be able to do the tough tricks like that. I try to find easy setups because if I try to do the hard setups, I screw them up. So I need the easy version.
Or you could be like me and just YOLO it.
Yeah, but setups are good. Just keeps it consistent,
Yeah.
And nothing up here.
I do not disagree with you on that. I'm just messing around.
So Oxyman getting pretty close to being done with Ice Cavern, and Kariossa getting close to the end of Fire, but still has a little bit to go here. It's probably going to go all the way. And I don't think that there's any way that Kariossa could beat Oximan back to bottom of the well should this turn up empty. I think, knowing Kariossa, I imagine that if this is nothing, it's going to end up in a GTG play. But we'll see. I've been wrong about these runners' tendencies before, and I'll be wrong again.
Here's Oximan picking up Saria's song.
Storms.
I mean, Storms, yeah, sorry. Brain.
So the only question remains is Oximan going to go straight to well, or are there other checks that are going to happen?
It looks like he's going. It looks like he's going straight for well.
Yeah, I don't hate that. But yeah, from Kariossa's side, like, it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes next. Again, this is the critical moment. If it's not in Fire, where to? There's maybe a small window of time where Kariossa could decide to try and go back to bottom of the well, but I don't know. I really don't think he will. Just knowing Kariossa, I think Kariossa will elect to go to GTG and just try to get more dungeon checks and chase his paths. It's so hard to go back to bottom of the well after abandoning it.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't think he...
Oh, there's a big chest. Could this be the big brain play?
Oh my god.
Oh,
the Curie
no.
Sword. And if he completes Deku, that's lax.
Yeah, so there's no way that Deku... I don't think Deku can possibly have anything, because Fire is on the path of courage. If Fire was on the path of wisdom or power, maybe I could see it somehow. But we are pretty confident that long shot is actually the path item and that it's not that Kokiri sword. So this seems like bait to me, but Kariossa going Child, I guess, has the option to go bottom of the well if he wants, but surely he's just going Deku, right?
I think he's just going Deku. We'll see if... yeah.
Yeah, this is Deku.
I mean, once again, I can't really fault Kariossa for rushing Deku after finding the Kokiri sword. Especially deep forest. Like, deep forest.
Yeah, even though Kariossa is a top runner, like, anybody can make this kind of mistake. This is what I call the classic off by one mistake. And yours truly has made this mistake a number of times and had some really silly routing and looked very stupid because of it. I had one infamous seed where I miscounted my paths by one and ended up walking right by my third Triforce piece in Spirit Temple as I rushed to Twin Rova to beat Spirit Temple and get Storms, which I thought was going to have my last Triforce piece in bottom of the well. Turns out it was just actually mirror locked in Spirit Temple, and I found the piece 1 minute too late because of that. So I think if you've played any Triforce Blitz, you've been there, and now's the moment of truth for Oximan. If that second piece is in bottom of the well, then I think Kariossa is probably headed to the Wanderer bracket.
Dude, that was the key that I mentioned earlier. That was bomb locked.
Yeah, so that confirms the piece that Kariossa found as the power piece. But welcome, Baby Shark. Glad to have you. You've missed. Well, we're about to find out in about 3 minutes whether we've missed a throw or not.
There's a big chest and ooh, but it's bait.
That's a wallet locked wallet.
Yes. Took me a second there to think, how would that be wallet locked? It's like, oh yeah, deep fire. Oh.
But yeah, so courage is not happening. That is well beyond our reach this seed. We would need to clear GTG and some of Spirit and Cross and potentially end up in Shadow. And we probably, well, I guess Curious has Gold Scale, so technically we could end up with Nocturne, but certainly with not enough time to find the piece. So it's first to 2 wins.
Oh, I see. He's trying to use
nearly
the
fell.
Lord
Oh
to
my
pick.
god.
Alright, here's the piece. Now the question is Oximan gonna fully clear out his bottom well? And looks like he is.
Yeah, and that's the sensible play. It's just you have to be very, very greedy or very, very confident to bail out of well early. And I think Darius thought he knew the logic, but probably was off by 1. And
It
we're
could be
gonna
on Dead Hand.
yeah, all the ZL lock checks are 5 by my count.
Yep. So if the second Triforce piece is in well, it has to be on Dead Hand. And it looks like he's going for Dead Hand.
Dead Hand does not need Kokiri Sword in these settings. That is a like a league only thing, I think, where Kokiri Sword is logically required for Dead Hand. But in the kind of the season 5 or weekly settings logic, that is not a requirement.
Oh wait, another chest we didn't see yet was the bombable one in the area where the Skullatua is. But that would have been a 6. Never mind. It's probably Dead Hand.
So another key there. So probably back to the Dead Hand checks, and looks like Deku Tree not having anything as we expected. So all right, Curious, where to now?
I mean, nice thing about having Lens is that he can peek the invisible chest from Dead Hand. This is not a big chest. You can...
No, Oximan, don't leave. Oh, no.
Oh!
What is happening? This is like Game of Thrones, baby.
Game of Thrones, yes.
Well, we're going to be here for 20 more minutes, but I think that's probably curtains.
Yeah. Man, what did I give to see the spoiler log?
Eventually, I'm going to win one of these predictions.
Win a prediction? What's that?
So I'm guessing this is GTG.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be DTD for both.
This is Ganon.
Oh! But kariossa. Oh, for the long shot check that he couldn't get before for Oximan.
Maybe thinking that fire arrows are path for Shadow 2. Or maybe just not following the logic right and not realizing that other bomb bag was bomb locked.
We're gonna see Yeet Rock from kariossa. Like I wanted, so.
There you go. You got your light trial. Well done.
Yeah! I get what I want eventually. Oh, that sounds so bad. Alright. Oh, there's a big chest in here. That's ice arrows. And there's another big chest. And it's bomb shoes.
Well, if somehow either our runners can get back to bottom of the well,
I think
the wave's out
Oximan.
there if you want it.
No.
But I think this is GTG.
Yeah, it's GTG. Oh, another big chest in light trial room. And it's slingshot. Oh my god. Imagine if slingshot chest actually has something. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think that.
And the slingshot minigame.
This might be back to child for Kariossa to go to woods, or maybe it's just to go outside to get Eponas to head to GTG after Oxyman. But yeah, 17 minutes left. Looks like we'll get our first look at GTG, but I can't imagine anything being there. I guess there is like an outside chance that it could be that one check that is hammer locked, but I think that's the only possibility that's even remote. So yeah, going to be interesting to see if Kariossa can make up any time on Oxyman here. I suppose there is like some extremely remote chance that the hammer could maybe key lock a piece in GTG. I'm not a believer, but I guess it's not impossible, maybe. And if Kariossa can make up some time, then maybe Kariossa could take the lead back. But I think Oxyman has enough of a lead that he's going to be able to look at those hammerlock checks first. Looks like Karios is going to do the full valley clear. And probably GTG will be the last dungeon for Kariosa. Hey, it's a deep chest.
What's in the chest? Hover!
Well, that's interesting. So that means that Longshot is probably only path for Water Temple, because now we can get across the desert without the Longshot. So, I mean, further confirmation that Courage is in Shadow. But looks like we will see right side here. What? Din's is in Valley. Okay, so that means that irons are going to be in Spirit Temple, and it's going to be irons logically required for Nocturne. Kariosa could pick up Nocturne out of logic, though. I mean, in fairness, like, Kariosa could potentially get a few checks in Shadow Temple. If he goes to GTG, find those hovers, and then immediately goes to Water, and does gold scale entry to get a Nocturne, like, Courage is not impossible. So yeah, we're calling it too early, but it's not. I mean, Kariosa would probably have a solid 7 to 8 minutes in Shadow Temple if he plays his cards right here. There's a big chest in the maze. And it's a slingshot.
That's interesting.
Unfortunately, Oximan choosing not to go into the Keese room where the hammerlock check is during the check of the right side, and is going to end up finding that check last. So another opportunity for Kariosa potentially to get there first, but Kariosa is going to find those hovers, and if he does, well, now it's decision time for him. Looks like a maze peak, or no, this is just a right side peak, so surely Kariosa is going to end up in that check, and if there's a Triforce piece on that hammerlock check, I don't even know what I'm going to say. Yeah, Kariosa heading straight there. So, is this chest big? It's not. And yeah, so okay. This is smart by Kariosa. All right. So he's thinking, is it hammerlocked? He goes straight for the hammerlock check. So that's no accident. And now he's going to try and get as many checks in Shadow Temple as possible. Unfortunately for Oximan, this Triforce piece is not here in BTG, and I think this is lights out. I think Kariosa is going to move forward no matter what, not actually needing the piece that's in Shadow, but still with a chance to find it.
I also just realized that Oxyman never did the child chickens and getting the silver gauntlets.
I mean, that could potentially help him if he decides not to go Spirit. I mean, he's got 10 minutes left. Maybe he could end up in bottom of the well. Like, I can't imagine it, but with 10 minutes left, you kind of want to go to any place that you can that has dungeon checks. And there's not a whole lot of options. Maybe fire is the other chance, I think. Actually, yeah, he has hammer, so could do fire.
Oh. Oh. Big stabby.
Yeah. That one wasn't deep enough. Sorry to spoil the excitement.
I don't know, but it's always exciting to see a big chest, though.
Yeah, and this looks like Fire Temple, so that's going to be it for Oximan. Unfortunately, probably in the one check that he skipped in bottom of the well and had the opportunity to do it. But kariossa still has a chance to get 2. He's going to be able to get Nocturne with about 8 minutes left in the seed, and probably will have 7.5 minutes in Shadow, which is good enough for probably like at least the first half of the dungeon. So kariossa definitely could pick up that second piece, which looks like he won't need, but probably will make him feel a lot better. Yeah, congratulations, kariossa, on hitting Go mode. It's 6 medallions, magic, and light arrows, so should be able to kill Ganon and get this seed over with. That's how it works, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally how this works. Where was Dins?
Dins was in the Valley Waterfall.
Oh. I thought it was a rupee at first, because then I looked away. That's... Dang. That's a nice find. Nice little Spears hero. Check. Right? No, not. I don't know how spears work. It doesn't matter.
So kariossa making it into Shadow. We know that the piece here has to be hovers locked, so it's not going to be in the first 2 checks, and I think kariossa wisely is just going to skip those first 2, having furores, and will just go as far as he can, see if he gets key locked, and if he does, he'll drop furores and come back and get a key and then keep moving. But with 6 in a little over that of time left, this is definitely the pro strat, so to speak, maximum efficiency.
Pro MLG 360 no scope strats.
420.
Hey.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a key in here. But
good.
Yeah, maybe we can get a prediction for whether kariossa gets this piece in Shadow Temple before the time limit.
I was hoping for Oximan to go back and just beat Dead Hand. I wonder if he's thinking that you need Kokiri. They're both thinking you need the Kokiri sword to beat Dead Hand, for Dead Hand to be in logic.
Yeah, maybe. League settings corrupting us all. I don't think kariossa is tricked by that. Kariossa, I think, thought that maybe wisdom, or sorry, the power was wisdom, and that he was off by 1. But I don't know if Oximan played League or anything like that. Will be interesting to see what they say in the interview.
Yep. Well, hopefully we can get both runners in here in the 5 minutes that we have. Oh, yeah, looks like Oximan is gonna go into deep fire, and that'll just be curtains.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you were going to do bottom of the well, you needed to do it the first trip. It's too
Yeah.
late at this point to second guess yourself. You just kind of have to live with your mistakes at this point.
Decision. Yep. Well, I guess that could be a question we ask in the interview with these runners. Why no dead hand?
Is one of the cool things about Blitz, though, is that very often in Blitz, after you're done with the seed, you will go back and find things that you could have done better. I'll pause that thought.
Could
We have
this
a big
be
chest in
one?
shadow here, so potential second piece.
This could be the second piece right here. It's a mirror shield. Oh
Dear.
no.
Well, I don't think
think
that was path, so that could be bait. Let's just kind of let's hold off a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
Did we ever get confirmation that Shadow was actually hinted path? Okay. Cola is very confident, so we'll trust Cola. But if that is actually path, then it probably is in Spirit Temple. But Kariossa does not have time to get to Spirit Temple. No Requiem. So if that's the case, then we are just running out the clock.
Yeah, well, we need. Oh, there's another big chest. This could be it here. Well, that's her third bow. Which, once again, not bow locked, so.
Returning to a thought that I had before all those big chests showed up. Ooh, Kariossa taking a death there. Does he have a fairy? No, he does not. Interesting. But so often in Triforce Blitz, especially when I've been playing, I look back at what I did and I realized that I had all the information to figure out where the Triforce pieces were, and I just didn't use it properly. And understanding the hints in Triforce Blitz is incredibly difficult, especially when you're in 1 versus 1 and you're under a time limit. So it's very easy to make mistakes, but it's also there's a lot of room for improvement. And even our season 5 champion getting off by 1 on one of the paths here, and Oximan again missing the piece as well. So this wasn't a race that came down to luck or anything like that. Unfortunately, it was just down to kind of interpreting the information wrong and making some major mistakes, and ultimately that's what decides the match. And while that may be frustrating to our runners, at the same time, with more practice and with a better understanding of the logic, like these are mistakes that can be corrected, and there's a lot of room for improvement that is under the runner's control. So I find that really motivating to help me to practice and work on my mistakes.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, that's also a big chest. A lot of big chests here in Shadow.
Probably our second magic.
Oh, no, there's the second piece.
Cola, you lied to us. You lied to us.
I wonder if he's going back adult to go. I mean, going back child, but he's only got like 57 seconds. He's not going to.
He's probably going to try to do one more check in Water Temple, but that's it. So that is courage, by the way. That is not wisdom.
Oh
not
no,
that it matters too much, but yeah, well done to Kariossa getting 2 pieces, locking down that 14.
I think he's just messing around until the timer runs out.
Yes, he knows he can't get any more, but probably satisfied with picking up that second piece and that will secure him his place in the main bracket. So congratulations to Kariossa. Moving on in an exciting game 3 that, well, everything was to play for, and definitely could have gone the other way. So that just goes to show that nothing is for free in these settings, and the big names don't necessarily get a free pass on. They've got to earn their wins, and Oxyman
All right,
out of time.
time's up. Yep. GG's to both runners. Hopefully we can find out where that last Triforce piece was. I don't know if we'll get confirmation of that, but let's see if we can get our interviewees in.
It looks like Kariosa won't be joining us, but I think Oxyman is going to give the people what they want and give us a peek at Bottom of the Well.
Nice. I mean, this will also give us some closure to know that Dead Hand was useful or not. Welcome, Oxyman.
Howdy.
GG's.
GG. Yeah, I knew there was one in Shadow. I was just missing too much.
Welcome, Oxyman.
Yeah, so we are dying to see Dead Hand because we are quite confident that the other wisdom piece is on Dead Hand. And somehow both of you managed to skip that check. Yeah, so
Because
we want
they're-
answers. To see Dead
They would be
Hand,
the same
because
amount
we are
of things,
quite
unless
confident-
Kokiri source and logic.
No, that is not true because there is a bomb bag in Ganon's castle that is Path, and that piece in the back of Bottom of the Well is bomb locked by keys.
Okay.
So if it's on Dead Hand, then Dead Hand would be 5, and then the other one would be 6 because it is logically bomb locked.
I'm heading there. I'm working on it.
We got to know. You were actually in there in time, and had you done Dead Hand, we think you might have actually been able to sneak in the time limit or the tiebreaker. But
I was thinking, I don't know. There isn't much left.
yeah, Kariossa did Deep Fire, and actually there was a Kokiri sword in the hammer
chest? Oh, that's all I had left. Was there anything in Deku? I guess not.
No, there wasn't. We knew it had to be too deep. Deku.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that Long Shot was going to be path leading to Shadow Temple because of the dungeon reward layout.
That I knew. That's why I left after Long Shot. That and health.
Yeah. So even though it was cool to see Deku Tree, we were quite confident that nothing was going to end up showing up there.
All right. This back one checked. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Oh my god. I left, and I'm like, I'm hoping there's nothing back there.
Yeah, we were losing our minds on Restream because we were pretty sure it had to be there, and yeah, there it is.
Yeah. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the classic off by one situation. It only takes a little tiny misreading of the logic, and
Yeah.
that
I
can
thought it was
happen.
the same amount, and that's why I didn't check it.
Yeah, if that key logic, the surprise path bomb bag will get you every time.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's also what Kariossa's train of thought was. It's like, oh yeah, no, it was in here, you know.
Uh,
Well, I mean, it was still a really
Oh,
great
great
race,
race.
and you were neck and neck with Kariosa for the majority of it, and definitely had a chance to pull it out. And you even won a really exciting second game, so definitely no reason to be ashamed of your performance. And you're not out; you'll be heading onto the Wanderer bracket, so that's when the real single elimination begins, and you'll have a chance to go deep in there. So. Definitely looking forward to seeing your performance and the future matches.
Yep. Definitely look forward to it.
I'm looking forward to. So he gold scaled water is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there was another scale on child fishing,
Child
and
fishing. I have
he
money for
dipped into
that.
GTG and then tried to do as much in shadow as he could, and found the last piece with about a minute left. But we knew it was going to be the first to two would be the winner, and well, for a while we thought it might be just first to one, but that placement in shadow was just shallow enough that it was reachable in time.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing I had left in time was fire, so I went there, and I figured it probably wouldn't be there.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that decision to go fire. That was about all you had left
Yep.
because you didn't have strength to
Right.
get the spirit or anything like that.
Right.
Well, any questions from chat before we try and wrap this up? As it's a good race, pretty exciting, lots of drama, just like last night, just kind of a different drama. But that's why we love game threes, right? It's high stakes and high action. In the meantime, thank you to our trackers, Lady Draco, Prince Sidon, and Purple, and to my co-commentator, Queen Helena, working through some technical difficulties. So thank you for your diligence in powering through those. And shout outs to my common, or I guess frequent co-commentator, Ginger Sunny, for doing the race monitoring. And for, I think, is it Dastar? It is Tobias who's restreaming. Just kidding. Shout out to
Yep.
Dastar anyway.
Yeah.
But shout out to Tobias. Thank you for doing the restream. And I think that's it from me. Looks like we've got another race tonight. Ron and Traveler and Jack Astronomy, and that's their game one. So 8 p.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. European time if you don't like sleep. And hope to see all of you in a future race soon.
Yep. GG's.
GG. Thanks for the restream.